Okay. All right. So today's multi-step equations with the distributive property. So our distributive property is like what we did before. So it applies to equations just like it does expressions. So the first thing that we're going to do is review what the distributive property does. So it says practice distributing below. So remember, when that number is up against the parentheses, distributing means that I take that number and I multiply it in the parentheses to both terms. So 4 times 2x is 8x. 4 times 9 is positive 36, so I put a plus 36. Then I would not put those together because they're not like terms. Okay, let's look at this next one here. This is a negative 3 up against the parentheses, so I'm going to distribute that negative 3. So this is negative 3 times positive 7, which is negative 21. And negative 3 times negative 4x, and a negative times a negative is a positive. So 3 times 4x is 12x. Remember to use your calculator to back yourself up and check it there. Those can't go together because one has an x and one does not, so I stop. All right, and then this last one, 1.5 is against the parentheses, so I multiply it in first. So 1.5 times negative 4x, that is negative 6x. And then 1.5, and that's times a negative 6, that's a negative 6, is negative 9. And then those aren't like terms, so I cannot put those together. All right, so we're going to throw this in with two-step equations. So we're going to add a step into our steps for solving. So before, when we were doing two-step equations, we undid the addition and subtraction first, and then we undid the multiplication and division. But since we're throwing in the distributive property, our first step now is going to be to distribute. So we're going to make sure that we distribute into that parentheses first. Okay, so if I was going to do a problem like this, I'm just going to make up something real quick. Okay. The first thing I would do would be to distribute. So I would take that 3. So 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. So step 1 is to distribute. Step 2 is going to be to combine like terms if necessary. So I would ask myself, are these like terms? And we would say no, because this has an x and this does not. And we're going to kind of change our directions here. So step 3 is going to be to undo the multiplication or the addition or subtraction. So when I look over here, I will then ask myself, do I have addition or subtraction? Because this looks like just like our two-step equations that we had. So that's a minus 9, so I would add 9 once to each side. So negative 9 plus 9 cancels out. So that's 6x equals 18. And then our last step is going to be to undo our multiplication or division. So those are our two steps right there that we've been focusing on. So my last step here would be to divide by 6, and x would equal 3. All right, so I'll give you a second just to get caught up there, and then we're going to go for this first one. Okay, so let's look at number 1 here. So I'm going to draw a line down my equal sign, and I'm looking at the side that the x is on, and I see that there's a parenthesis there. So that's the first thing that I'm going to do is step 1 is to distribute. So I'm going to take that 4 and multiply it in. So 4 times 5x is 20x. 4 times 6 is positive 24. And then before I do anything else, I always ask myself, are these like terms? And the answer is no, because this one has an x and this one does not. So then I move on to step 3. So I just bring that up down, that's 12. Move on to step 3. I undo the addition or subtraction because now it looks just like our regular two-step equations that we've been working on. So I'll subtract the 24. So 24 minus 24 is 0, which just leaves me with 20x equals, and 12 minus 24 is negative 12. And then my last step is to undo the multiplication or division. So this is 20 times x, so I'm going to divide by 20. 20 divided by 20 is positive 1, and 1x is just x. And I'm going to use my calculator here. Negative 12 divided by 20, and I get negative 0.6. And we're going to check that just to make sure that it's right. So these calculators do have parentheses on them. So when you go to check it, you do have that option to use the parentheses, okay? So I'm going to, where's my highlighter? I'm going to take my number and I'm going to plug it back in right there. And if it equals 12, then I know it's the right answer. So I'm going to do with my parenthesis here. So 4 times 5 times, and then in that x spot is where I'm going to put that negative 0.6 plus 6. And if I type this in and hit enter and it says 12, I know that negative 0.6 was the right answer. So 4 parenthesis 5 times negative 0.6 plus 6 and close my parenthesis. When I hit enter, it should say 12. And it does, so I know that this is the right answer. All right. Do another one together here. Okay, so I'll start here with the 6. So 6 times x is 6x. 6 times negative 5 is negative 30. And I'm going to ask myself if these are like terms. Now, typically they're not like terms, but this has an x, this does not, so I can't put them together. And then equals 18. And then now that's just a two-step equation there. So I go to step 3. I undo the addition or subtraction. So I have a minus 30. So I'm going to add 30 once to each side. So negative 30 plus 30 is 0. So that's 6x equals 48. And then I'm going to divide by 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. So x equals 48 divided by 6 is 8. All right, I'm going to let you all try this number 3. So I'm going to check just to make sure my video is still recording while you all do number 3. All right, so I'm going to start by distributing this negative 3. So negative 3 times positive 2x is negative 6x. Negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. I asked myself, are these like terms? No, because it has an x, does not have an x. So I'm just going to bring down my 18. And it's just a two-step equation now. So I undo the addition and subtraction first. So it's a plus 12. So I'm going to minus 12 once from each side. So 12 minus 12 is 0. So that's negative 6x equals 18 minus 12 is 6. And last step is to undo the multiplication and division. So that's negative 6 times x. So I'm going to divide by negative 6. So negative 6 divided by negative 6 is positive 1, and 1x is just x. And 6 divided by negative 6 is negative 1. And I'm going to check mine. No, I didn't check the other one, but we'll check this one. So I'm going to do negative 3, and then in my parentheses is 2 times x, but we just said x was negative 1 minus 4. And I'm going to type that exactly like I just wrote it. Negative 3, parenthesis, 2 times, sorry. And I get 18. So I know that's the right answer. Let me take a drink. All right. We're going to flip it over. And I want you to try, we're going to kind of flip flop here. We're going to skip around. I want you to go ahead and try number 5. So make sure you're on number 5.
No, I was just telling you. That was what I was doing.
Okay, keep going.
Sorry, I thought I left my jacket in here.
All right. So we should distribute this 2. I'm covering up the side of the x. It's not on. So 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Those are not like terms, so I can't put them together. So it's just a 2-step equation. So I'm going to undo my addition and subtraction. So I'm going to add the 4. Negative 4 plus 4 is 0. So that's 6x equals 26 plus 4 is 30. And then to get x all the way alone, that's 6 times x. So I'll divide by 6. So 6 divided by 6 is 1, and 1x is x, and 30 divided by 6 is 5. Okay, we're going to do another one together. So let's do number 4 together. So I'm going to go ahead and, even though it's a fraction, it's just like a 1. So I'm going to distribute that 1/2. So 1/2 times 1x. Oops, it's a little blurry there. So 1/2 times 1x. 1/2 times 1 is just 1/2. So 1/2 x. And then 1/2 times 4. And remember, you can use your calculator. 1 ABC 2 times 4. And it's 2 equals negative 12. Those are not like terms, so it's just a 2-step equation. So I'm going to undo the addition and subtraction. So it's a plus 2, so I'm going to minus 2. So 2 minus 2 is 0. So it leaves me with a 1/2 x equals negative 12 minus 2 is negative 14. And this is 1/2 times x because there's nothing between them. So I'll divide by 1/2. So 1/2 divided by 1/2 is gone. And negative 14 divided by 1/2. 1 ABC 2. Hit enter, and I get negative 28. All right, I am going to check that one just so we can see how to check one with a fraction. So it's 1/2, so 1 ABC 2, and then parenthesis, and that's 1x, so 1 times x, but we said x was negative 28, plus 4, and then I close that parenthesis and hit enter. And if it says negative 12, then I know this is the right answer. Yes. All right. I'm going to let you all try number 6. So try number 6. Use that calculator and use that for your fraction button. Keep going. Make sure you're watching your signs. All right, so we're going to start off by distributing that 2/3. So 2/3 times 3x. So on my calculator, 2ABC 3 times 3. So that's 2x. 2/3 times -6. So 2ABC 3 times -6 is -4. Now it's just a two-step equation, so I undo my addition and subtraction by adding 4. So that's 2x equals 12. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so x equals 6. All right, go ahead and try number 8. All right, so, oops, dropped my phone. All right, so I should have distributed 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times -2x is -10x. And then it's a two-step. This is a positive 20, so to move it, I would subtract 20. So 20 minus 20 is 0. So that's -10x equals -34, because that's same sign, add, and keep. Divide by -10, and x equals positive 3.4. All right, I'm going to check it. So 5 and then parenthesis. 4 minus 2 times 3.4, close my parenthesis, and then I'll hit enter, and it should say -14, and yes, it does. All right, so we're going to stop there, and you are going to get a worksheet where you can practice these today. So make sure you take your time, make sure you check your answers, and I will see you all on Wednesday.